Oh my god, how are you? How you been? How's the wife and kids? It's your boy, White Vault, for the 6th Vaultacular Game Jam. I thought things would be a little easier with my new computer and editing, so I'll be doing 4 submitted games per video. So we'll start with these 4 today, and then another 4 2 weeks from now, and we'll continue doing this. If you guys are liking this, I would like to make smaller little reviews of all the games submitted. That includes the 5th Vaultacular Game Jam, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and maybe even go old school to the 1st Vaultacular Game Jam. The theme of this jam was the weight of choices. I felt my last theme for the 5th Vaultacular Game Jam was a little too abstract, so we thought we'd keep it a little easier. So I wanted to start off with the Healan from Zero Ghana. I know what you're thinking. Pixel art? No, it's vector art. For the game Healan by Zero Ghana, they made a visual novel that kind of dived into the choices of survival. You take over the lead human over a human tribe as you're infected by a contagious disease. And you have to do everything you can to survive. You have to balance safety, health, water, and all your resources. You can go to neighboring nations like the orcs, the elves, the dwarves. However, the story will unfold in a pretty bleak way if you're like me. I don't know how to tell you this. I traded the lives and freedoms of my fellow humans to the elves. Now, am I proud of this? You know, you weren't in my seat, all right? They promised us safety, and you know, with a look like that, how could you not trust them? With teeth as large as my eyes, you know? The game overall loop was really nice. The only feedback I found was that it took me a couple playthroughs to kind of understand the game loop. Aside from that, this level was pretty vast, a lot of choices. I would definitely recommend you try it yourself. That said, let's move on to the Overseer is Watching. This game is a work in progress. The Drillmont TV even said there in their page that this is an ongoing project that was inspired by the jam. It's a vampire survivor-like, where you play as a lovable scoundrel as you're trying to dash through enemies as they try to swarm around you. You survive each wave, you get an additional add-on. I thought it was a pretty clean game loop. The music, I wish, kind of had a slider key. But aside from that, it had a kind of charm to it, and I found myself kind of dashing through it and adding my own just sound effects of whoosh, whoosh, wah. So, you know, if you guys need video game sound effects, just hit me up. Overall, it was a nice little game loop. Which brings me to the Sorcerer's Scale. Now, this isn't the first game these two troublemakers have made me play. This dream team decided to basically make a full game for a game jam video. The premise is pretty simple. You grab a certain item in the room and try to weigh it against items of a similar weight. So, for example, a teacup, 2 compasses. Now, I know what you're thinking. White Vault, that seems like a nice little thing. Wonder what other items I can mix and match to look at this variety. I can have a planet, a pumpkin, an empty veil. I wonder what complexity and weights I can play with. Well, I decided to do the whole streamer thing and ask the very important question: how many compasses does it take to weigh a book? 2, 3, 9, 38. I had this thing where I kept trying to only use compasses, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I think the devs of this project fixed that bug immediately. Or did I create the new metagame, compasses only speedrun? That's up for you. Thankfully, with this jam kind of given a longer time, I gave normally a month as per normal, a lot more polish could be seen in these games, and I think you can really see it the most with the Sorcerer. Which brings me to the 6 days at the hotel. This visual novel was made by Just Gamer and team. Visually, I thought it was very enjoyable to look at. I did talk about the empty space in the room, but aside from that, you're really not playing this game for the visuals. You're playing it for the game loop. In this game, you're put in as the leader of a group of surviving humans who are basically trapped inside a hotel. You have to decide for each mission who will go off to get resources, who would try to grab a gun, and so on and so forth. But the important thing is you need to keep Sam safe. He won me over. Overall, it was a lot of fun. But that's what we have so far. If you're liking these shorter videos, like I said, I'm trying to get back into editing videos. It's slowly getting there. I'm hoping to have another video out in 2 weeks. And then I can share kind of more of my current projects. And a huge thank you to the amazing Patreons, to Anna, to Bunnystick, to Dwelling, to Hey I'm Evil, to Coughness, to MacDab, to Motzi Megs, to Star Princess, to Swan Song Games, and to Tiny Justice. Thank you very much. We're all working within the community to get the Cabot game in a playable state to General, and the Patreons have been giving me some pretty brutal, honest feedback on what's working and what's not working. So huge thank you to those lovelies. With that feedback, I feel we're going to be making the best game we can. So hopefully see you all in 2 weeks. Let me know if you like these type of videos. If not, the best way you can show me you don't like these videos is to like and subscribe. See what I did there? All right, love you all. Bye.